And we're live. Welcome to Spooky Quokka, the Moon Knight Review, Episode 5, with your hosts, Lewis and...
And Jason?
Yes!
You there?
There we go. Hey, how you doing?
Very good. I can't see you, so I'm assuming you're there.
I sure am. There we go. You should be able to hopefully see me now. But Moon Knight Episode 5, the penultimate episode, has just dropped. And we've watched it.
It has.
So
we very much did, yes.
Full spoilers ahead for those who would like to be warned. But apart from that, we'll talk about the whole lot and theories and thoughts and predictions as to what may come.
I said off air. The thing is with this show that it's all been billed so far. Like, not a huge amount has kind of happened, and we're like very quickly racing towards the 6th episode, which is the last episode of the season, and as far as we're aware, the last episode of Moon Knight ever. And we've had about like 5 minutes of Moon Knight in the 5 episodes that have been shown so far.
They have been 5 very good minutes, but yes,
they have. But I'm feeling a lack of Moon Knight in the Moon Knight TV show.
I can see that. There is a lot of Stephen and there is a lot of Mark, but not a lot of Moon Knight.
No, not at all. And people are still hanging out for an appearance by another personality of Mark's, Jake Lockley. Yeah. But again, we're down to the last episode, and it would be weird to think that they would introduce another personality into the mix in the last episode.
I know, I really expect it to happen in this episode, in episode 5. So now I am lost. I've got no idea what's going to happen.
Because in this episode, it was all about Mark and Stephen finding balance, and they couldn't have pushed the metaphor
balance or
anymore.
An asylum, like safety.
Yes. But it was also the fact that, like, you know, looking for balance, and then like what's the hippo's lady's name? How do you pronounce it? Towets, yeah. Her ripping out both Stephen and Mark's hearts and then balancing them with a feather, and they've got to actually balance out, otherwise they'll like get thrown overboard into this, you know, oblivion. It was all very clear that they had to, you know, he had a lot of trauma that he had to go through, and, you know, come to the realization of who he was. But yeah, if there was ever an episode where they were going to introduce the third personality, this would have been that episode. It
would have had to be, yeah. So whether they've just leaving it dangling out there for the upcoming West Coast Avengers Disney Plus series with Moon Knight and Tigra, we will just have to wait and see. I did find the episode started as soon as episode 4 finished, so it was going backwards and forwards between Mark and Stephen, and then cutting to Dr. Harrow's office with Mark going through. So it was very disjointed. It was all very what's real, what's not. But Tawet pretty much just summed it up pretty well. Yeah, you're dead. You're in the afterlife. This is how you're decompressing all your trauma, everything.
I thought the effects of the tar wet was really good. Like, I felt there was real presence in the scene.
She had a weight.
There.
You know, she actually had, for a CG character, she really, you could, yeah, not no pun intended, but yeah, the hippo had quite a bit of weight behind it.
And the yeah, the fact that when she opened her mouth and spoke, and it just felt so real. Like it was an unreal character, but it felt very real.
Absolutely, no, she's definitely been one of the highlights. I've definitely enjoyed her presence over this episode. I
Mm.
I really found the trauma to be rather the source of the trauma. When we finally had it
Mm.
revealed, I almost kind of felt like it was a bit out of left field. I didn't really see it coming as such. I'm still trying to work out if that was a good thing or a bad thing.
Well, it was kind of a good thing because you've had Stephen talking to his mother on the phone for several episodes
Yeah,
and seemingly having a good relationship with his mother. So to bring out that the source of Mark's trauma is the fact that his mum was horrible and beat him, it was a really full-on hardcore reveal.
yeah, and obviously the animosity between him and his mother was due to the death of his younger brother Randall when they were
Mm, mm.
kids, when Mark failed to look after him, so to speak.
But it was good seeing Stephen discovering all these things and coming to the realization that he was the coping mechanism.
Yeah, yeah, and even when he's talking with Harrow, when Mark's basically finally let Stephen out to speak to Harrow, that their interaction was so different between Harrow and Mark. That
Mm,
realization he had that no, their mother is dead. I thought
yes,
that was
yes.
really quite profound.
And it makes me wonder, like, when he was, on the phone speaking to his mother, was there anyone else on the other end of the phone, or was it just a one-way kind of conversation going on?
I'm thinking it was a one-way conversation because, well, his mother's
Mm,
dead.
okay.
Yeah,
Yes. True, true.
true.
Yes.
So, in case you haven't noticed, they are a little bit crazy. So, having
Yes.
having a conversation with yourself, compared to everything else that's going on, yeah, I'll allow that one.
But yeah, it was a good episode, but it's just I just find it frustrating. Like if there was another 3 episodes to go, I would have been fine with them spending an episode trying to find themselves. But yeah, it's
It's
just frustrating that we're still waiting to see how this pays off.
That's it. We've got about 51 minutes left of story to reveal what's happening, and that seems like
Mm,
nowhere near enough.
no,
No.
no, we need more. So hopefully this whole one and done season and Oscar Isaac's not signing on for more Moon Knight is just wrong, and this is only the start. We'll see many more series from them.
Ah, so you've heard Oscar doesn't want to do more Moon Knight.
Well, no, I just heard that he had only signed up for one season.
Ah,
So yeah, so that would mean either they recast Moon Knight or they back a truckload of money up to him and bring him back. But yes, it'll be interesting to see
where would
which
Disney
way
get
it
that
goes.
money from? That small, tiny, family-owned business. How would they get enough money for that?
I don't know. They'll just have to find it somewhere. It'll be on the back of the couch somewhere, I'm sure.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. I'm sure they could
Mm.
buy many small countries with the money they've lost in between the cushions.
Yes, yes, exactly. One of the things I liked about this episode, though, was the way that they were using the different psych wards to view moments in his life,
Yes.
and you saw the moment of him beating the jackal in the museum, and then you did see a quick snippet of him standing on the street across from where his mother's shiva was taking place.
Yeah.
Um, and I thought maybe that was going to be a Jake Lockley thing, but it didn't turn out to be the case.
Yeah,
So, I
particularly
think
because
we're
Stephen
all
went,
just,
"Do you remember this?" And he's like,
yes,
maybe, yeah,
yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe, okay, so they didn't remember it. Maybe this is Jake's gonna, be revealed, and it was no, that wasn't. It was just like a really traumatic experience of standing across the road from your dead mum's wake. So
yes,
yeah, it's interesting.
yeah. Did you notice the Black Panther shout out?
No, I missed that. Where was that?
So Tawe was talking about uh, all these dimensions of untethered consciousness, and she said, "Oh,
Hmm.
you should check out the ancestral plane, which is where Black
Yes,
Panther does
yes,
his like vision quest." So that was nice to sort of link that in there. So who knows?
very cool.
Black Panther 2, Oscar Isaacs.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, no, not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. Apart from that, they did
Oh,
finally also reveal that Bushman was his CO,
mhm.
and he was the one in charge of the operation where Layla's father was brutally gunned down.
But did he paint a skull onto his face?
I hope so. I hope so.
Yes,
Or
yes.
if it is finally revealed that he is the third personality, I hope the bandages go over his face in a skull-like fashion.
Ooh, interesting.
Mm.
What so you think? So you think Mark is also Bushman as well as like so he killed all those people and then he became Moon Knight? Yeah, is that your theory?
Kind of, yeah. Definitely, I had less faith in it after this episode. But from a storytelling
Hmm.
point of view, if he was the one that actually killed Layla's father, and then Mark was the one who went to make a relationship out of his guilt, and then she finally falls in love with Stephen, that would be a pretty awesome story,
Okay.
you know. So he's trying to redeem himself and Jake slash Bushman identity. I thought that would be really good.
Hmm.
But
It's interesting theory.
51
I don't.
minutes,
I
can't pull it off.
yes, very very hard to do all that exposition in that period of time.
Yes, yes.
So do you think the next episode? Obviously, the next episode is going to be Mark. Layla must smash the Khonshu statue to release Khonshu.
Yes.
Mark briefly comes back to life, becomes Moon Knight, and then regenerates to become whole again.
Yep.
And then the rest of the episode is just him beating the crap out of Ethan Hawke.
A fair chunk of it. However, what about Stephen, frozen in sand?
D- Does that mean Steven is gone? Do you think because, like, the balance came when Steven went away, so that Mark is just Mark? Are they saying that's what the balance is? Him absorbing Steven effectively?
Perhaps, yeah. Or will the
Hmm.
regenerative powers of the Khonshu ceremonial armor actually bring Stephen back? And
Interesting.
how did an alternative personality actually have a heart? What? I didn't quite get that, but the comment about accidentally exploding their chest,
Yes.
I'll let it slide.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But see, both Steven and Mark believe them to be real, and so they both like have everything that a real person would need in this kind of otherworldly reality.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was that's why I think that's how she could take his very pale bloodless heart.
Yes. So, back to next episode. Yep. So Layla frees Khonshu. Mark comes
Well,
along.
it's got to be.
It's got to be, yeah.
She's the only person that can do it. Yeah.
Or Frenchie, but last episode they're not going to do that.
No. Well, all of a sudden, Jack Russell comes in. He throws the Khonshu statue
Yeah.
up in the air, and then Blade cuts it in half with his sword.
No. The Black Knight does, and then Blade
Oh,
makes some comment at the end. Sounds really cool.
fair enough. Yeah, next week is going to be really hard though, because next week on Wednesday night, do you know what's coming out?
Yes, yes. Fantastic Beasts 7?
No, no, it'll be Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, really? I thought it was going to be
Yes.
Dumbledore fighting trans people. Okay, alright.
No, it
No,
is not. They really missed a trick with. So I'm just going to tangent here to Fantastic Beasts for a second. The Secrets of Dumbledore, they really should have wrapped up this whole Fantastic Beasts thing and gone, okay, let's just do one more film. We'll just wrap this bad boy up, and then we won't have to think about this again. And yet they didn't. They just like did a film which clearly needs to have another film at least to wrap everything up. So it's kind of like, oh my god, is this going to be like a thing where we never get the ending for it because this film does really poorly? So they just go, oh yeah, we're not going to make the next one. That's
did it?
the end of it. So
Did it do poorly, or?
I don't know. I get the feeling it did. I don't know. I haven't checked the box office numbers, but I'm assuming that it was a case that didn't do great.
Surely Mads is a hell of a lot cheaper than JD.
Oh yeah. Mads is it would be cheaper, but
How was he?
much
Was he good?
better.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mads Mikkelsen is a fantastic actor, and like when you had a look, you had Johnny Depp in the previous movie, chewing the scenery, just going over the top, and it was not an enjoyable film. And then you had Mads in this one, just being subtle and not doing too much, and just being more menacing as Grindelwald. So yeah, this is a much better film, but I honestly think they should have tried harder to wrap it all up in this film. Because I just don't think it's like connecting with the audience the way that they were hoping it would do. Um,
Did they
but
still?
anyway, that's by the by.
Quick question: are they still pro-slavery?
What the wizards, as
Yeah.
far as the house elves go,
Yes.
um, I'm not entirely sure if there were any house elves in this. No, I think there was. I think there was house elves. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think
Good.
some of the wizards are still horrible people pro-slavery, which is not good.
There is this
Um,
fantastic YouTuber by the name of Sean Shaun, who's done this awesome video. It's about an hour and a bit long about the slavery and the other creatures and how dystopian the wizarding world is and how conservative and generally pretty bloody horrible to people. It's a fantastic episode. If you do check it out, it's definitely worth it. You'll never look at Harry Potter the same way again.
Is Harry an awful person, or is it just
Yeah,
like
he is.
the Harry is an awful person?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
okay, interesting.
yeah. So, we could go back into the books. His reaction to Hermione, like, going forward for, house elf rights is, oh no, what's she doing? He's a protagonist, and he never once goes, hey, yeah, no, something, you're right, we shouldn't have slaves.
Mm.
Yeah. He's perfectly happy with it.
Which is yeah, because I guess in the movies they only slightly deal with the house elf issue,
Yeah.
and they never like deal with it on a big scale. It's only like Dobby is the only one who gets free.
Yeah.
Like there must be thousands of house elves with all these wizarding families working for nothing, and it's just
Yeah.
that was really bad in the movies. But maybe that's something they should address in like a
They should.
TV show or something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yes. They should.
Free the house elves.
House elves, yeah. They should have trans house elves.
Yes, very very true. Very true.
Yes. Moon Knight.
Well, yeah. So next week is going to be difficult because Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness comes out, and I've got to go see that,
Mm-hmm.
and then I've got to watch Moon Knight and talk about it. So,
We'll probably do it Thursday then.
well, that was the thing I was going to ask because isn't there that Marvel quiz night that we're supposed to be going to on Thursday?
Good question. We'll take that one offline, and I'll have a look.
Excellent.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I thought, yes. Next. Ah. Yes. Good point. Yeah.
So,
What synergy do you think they'll actually have for between Moon Knight and the Multiverse of Madness?
Well, see, I don't know. I hope even if it's just a credit scene, I'd accept a credit scene, just something. The two properties are coming out the same week. If there's not something that connects them, I'd be very upset.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be something along the lines of the Egyptian gods, or perhaps Khonshu being an elder god might actually be in there as well. Like
yes.
Shumagorath, what are they calling him now? Gigantus, or the big squid creature that they can't call?
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, so he's an elder god, and so's Charon, who wrote the Darkhold. So I'm just wondering if they might try to have a quick Khonshu cameo at some stage.
That would be good. But yeah, but you'd think on Disney Plus they'd want to have something on Moon Knight as well, so that people go, oh yeah, that is out in the cinemas. I should go and see that.
Yeah.
So, like maybe there would be like, the cutscene at the end, Doctor Strange rocking up and just, whew, that was, you wouldn't believe the shit I just had to go through and push people towards going to the cinema.
Yeah, the one thing I do not want to see is that Moon Knight's taking place in an alternative dimension, an alternative reality, and it merges in. That's the one thing I don't want to see.
So you want Moon Knight's in the MCU proper, not
Yes.
not in another dimension. Yes.
No.
Mm-hmm.
No. I mean, we've seen the GRC, so it should be in there. We've had a Madripoor and the Wakandan afterlife mentioned, so obviously it's in, but I just don't want to do something so tame as go, oh no, Moon Knight, very different show, but it's okay. It was in a alternative dimension reality.
Yeah. Do you remember? Going back to? I think was it the third? It was the third episode that they finally got to Egypt, wasn't it?
Yes.
And that was when Khonshu blocked out the sun with a full eclipse. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, you see, the reason why I find this very difficult to believe is that next year, on April the 20th,
in Broome,
there is going to be a... Pardon, sorry?
In Broome.
In Broome. Well, no, in Exmouth, apparently, is the place to be. Yeah. Exmouth is where... Pardon, sorry?
Same shit, different day.
Yeah.
Exmouth, Broome, it's all north.
It's all north. There is going to be, it's like Exmouth is going to be the best place in the world to go and watch this full eclipse. And they're expecting a town which generally has about 2,700 people in it to have 50,000 visitors.
I reckon the line at the pub will be insane.
Yes. So I was thinking that Moon Knight episode where Khonshu does a total eclipse of the sun was a little bit unrealistic because there wasn't a bunch of grey nomads rocking up there in their RVs.
Well, they did not have advance notice. I'm sure they would have if they could.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
And Moon Knight is a bit of a grey nomad.
Well, it's. I think the suit's white. It's just a bit dusty. That's
dusty,
all.
Yeah.
But yeah, I couldn't. The whole, 50,000 people going to Exmouth. That's going to be huge for that town. Like I can't even, fathom a place with, minimal resources dealing with that amount of people just turning up.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Speaking of interesting, Mark's brother, Randall.
Yes,
Thoughts?
he did.
Yeah, see, in the comics, now this is how I remember him. They've apparently changed him quite a bit. But here he is. This was an appearance from him from an Incredible Hulk magazine. Number 16, I think. He was,
I can't see anything other than myself, so I
oh,
can't see the footage you're showing me.
okay. Oh, yes, there we go. So take my word for it, he's basically a Michael Myers-inspired hatchet man who kills nurses.
So what was it? What was his name again?
Originally, he was the Hatchet Man,
Mm-hmm.
and then they rejigged him recently in modern history to be Shadow Knight.
Shadow Knight. That sounds much better.
Yes, yeah. So it was interesting. So in the comics, he is an antagonist of Mark's, but yeah, now he's his deceased brother.
Okay, interesting. So do you think they'll bring him back? Oh, so he's just like an evil Moon Knight, basically.
Nowadays, yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like you had
Blood
Spider
Moon.
Man, and then, sorry,
Go on, yeah. Spider-Man and
yeah. So you had Spider Man, and you have Venom as his evil Venom, and then Flash, Reverse Flash. This is kind of
yeah,
Moon Knight, Reverse Moon Knight.
yes. Plus there was Hunter Moon, which was the right hand of Khonshu.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah. What was the left hand?
And
Either
Mark
way.
was a left fist, wasn't he?
Left fist, yeah. Left fist, right fist.
Yeah.
Either way, yeah. So, yeah, very much a evil version of Moon Knight.
Okay.
Hmm.
See, there's so much more that they've got to explore in this character, and bringing back the dead brother who's not dead and's got a real chip on his shoulder against Mark would be an interesting storyline.
It would. It would. I think it would be really very interesting to actually see where we go with that.
It makes you wonder how they can not make him dead.
Mm.
But the whole going into a cave thing when it's raining, and Mum said don't go into a cave when it's raining. It's like, oh god, these kids are stupid.
Also,
But yeah,
they're in Chicago, Illinois. Now, I'm not familiar with Chicago, Illinois, in great detail, but is there a large number of underground caves in the suburbs?
yeah, I believe that would be the case. I think it's called Chicago, Illinois, City of Caves.
Sea of caves, yes. Yeah.
So everyone's got a cave in their backyard.
It's
It's part of the course,
It's just like Wayne Manor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you've got to keep it back to the Batman parallels.
Yeah. Very true. It's a shame there wasn't like a bunch of bats flying out after his brother died.
Or moons.
Yes, quite right. But yeah, no, it was. But yeah, I think all in all, it was a very deep dive psychological episode. But yeah, I think after this, all the talking in this episode, the next episode just got to be a lot of action, really, just to drive it home.
Well, why don't we go to our predictions for final predictions for next week?
Okay.
Hang on, let me just get the image up. Here we go. Final predictions. Da da da. Which you can't see, but trust me, it looks good. It's awesome. Oh, look at that. Oh, predictions. Okay, so after you, sir.
Well, I predict that Mark's going to come back to life. Layla's going to break the Khonshu statue. Khonshu comes back. Mark gets the suit, and then he takes out Harrow, and then I think Harrow's because oh wait a minute, because Harrow still actually hasn't recovered or raised up his deity yet, has he? Like that deity is still.
But
What's that?
But there's all the souls flooding into the Duarts due to Harrow.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's.
Is that him doing that whole weighing the scales thing and then people just dying?
Yep.
Is that him over time that's happened? So, like, are we going to see him try to raise his, crocodile-headed deity, and Mark's got to stop him? Is that what the story is going to be for the last episode?
You would assume so, but then how does that explain the fact that souls are actually flooding in from Harrow's actions?
I don't know. Unless he's already raised a deity and then Mark's got to stop the deity.
You kind of hope we'd see that, but I suppose we can have a bit of a flashback as to who knows how long they've been in this afterlife.
Or maybe it's Khonshu and the alligator-headed deity that
Ahmet.
actually have to fight each other. Ahmet, yeah, have to fight each other.
Yeah, that would work. That would be somewhat disappointing, but yeah.
I would say that there's probably not going to be a appearance by Jack Russell, so apologies to all.
I tell you what, post-credit scene, I'm going for Jack Russell.
I still think it's going to be something to do with Multiverse of Madness, but I would dearly love to see Jack Russell as well.
Yes, I'm still hanging out for it. There's still a week, so if Kevin Feige, if you are after a Jack Russell, feel free to contact my agent, and I'm happy to audition for the role. Well, not really audition. I just want it.
You'd be happy to read for the part? Would you do a reading for it?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
There's a movie out at the moment. It's a Nicolas Cage film.
About Nicolas Cage.
About Nicolas Cage, yes. I can't remember the name of it, so I'm just bringing up his IMDb so I can get the right name of it. Where are you? There you go. The film is called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, and it's a really amazing film. So if anyone is looking for something to watch, like in the lead up to Multiverse of Madness, I'd highly recommend checking out the Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. It's also got the Mandalorian in there as well, so it's something for everyone.
So speaking of Nick Cage, if he was to get a role in a Marvel film, not Ghost Rider because that doesn't count, who would you cast him as?
Jack Russell.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think it did pull off with Jack Russell.
Yeah.
It'd be great.
So he'd literally just bark everywhere, don't you? He'd go full Jack Russell.
Oh yeah. That's gonna be fantastic. The thing is, like, Nick Cage now, like, you used to see him in movies, and he would always have to go do the full-on Nick Cage and go to 11. But after seeing him in Pig, I know he can do the somber kind of stuff. So I think he'd actually play a really good villain. So I'd like to.
You know who I'd like to see him as?
Yeah. Who would you like to see him as?
Oh, you can't see. Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then if you're gonna have him as Victor Von Doom, you've got to have like a Mr. Fantastic around the same age as a contemporary.
Well no, because you can de-age him before he gets his face blown off, and then.
Okay.
It's just going to be CG or just the voice, effectively.
So you're saying that Nick Cage would be the the after face of Doom?
Yes.
So, I think he could play a good Doom. Yes, yeah.
I'm just thinking like classic, like Lee and Kirby over the top Doom, that sort of thing. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, well, whatever he plays, he can play it over the top. There's no
Yeah.
two ways about that. Um, yeah, what other characters would I like to see him play? You can finally shave his head and get to play Professor X. That'd be cool
Oh
because
dear.
he's always wearing all those wigs. You know he's bald underneath there.
We all
So
know.
I think yeah, I think it'd be good to just like let the wig go and then play a bald character. I think he should play Professor X.
No, I think you should keep the wig on and put a ball cap over the wig and have it so obvious.
Oh dear God!
Yeah.
Did you
Hey, you could do Mr.
did you see
Sinister
those?
under a big
Yeah,
suit.
yeah. Did you see the photographs of Colin Farrell getting his makeup done to play the Penguin?
No, I did not, but we have not even spoken about Thor Love and Thunder. But I shall have a look at those photos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was pretty full on. Like so very little of his face is actually in that character. It's all mostly prosthetics and stuff like that. And they had to like shave the top of his head to be able to put fake hair on there to make it look like he was balding.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of odd. Again, it's weird where they
That's what I do.
he did a great role. Don't get me wrong, but it's weird where a character has got certain attributes and they cast somebody who doesn't look anything like them and then put them into an outfit or fake prosthetics and make them look like that person.
Yeah.
When there is actually people who look like that, actual actors who look like that they could have used.
Danny
It's quite
DeVito couldn't do it
interesting.
again, though.
Oh, I think he's still got it in, you know. And if they're bringing back Michael Keaton as Batman, I see no reason why we can't have Michelle Pfeiffer back as Catwoman, Danny and him back as DeVito back as Penguin. I think it'd be awesome.
I can think of 3 reasons.
What?
Keaton, Pfeiffer, and DeVito.
Yeah.
No.
Or bring back. We haven't had Jack Nicholson in a movie in a while, so bring him back. Put the
Is he still
Joker
alive?
makeup back on. Yeah, he can still go. He can
Okay.
still go.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's pretty much it for this episode. We might
Fair enough.
cut the recording there, and we will see you sometime next week with the final episode and our thoughts, our hopes, our dreams. Will they be shattered? Or will they be blown away like the sands of Egypt? Who knows?
All the sands of time, even.
Sands of time. Alright, we'll leave it there. And thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. And we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye.